Now, in Open Bridge Designer, we can also build a segmental bridge. Segmental bridge could be placed in segments, depending on the construction method. It could be span by span, or it could be balanced cantilever. Steps are the same. We add the bridge, we place the support lines. Now it's a little bit different because now we have to place segments. As we place segments, we need to select how we're going to build the bridge and define the segment sizes that are going to go either in a span by span or the balanced cantilever method. Then we place the pier. Then at last step, we place the bearings and any accessories or approach slabs later. Okay. So this method, we're going to build the bridge on span by span. So as we do that, we just place the support lines. Then we need to place the segments. Here we're selecting the terrain, right? The ground. And now, yes, we select how we're going to place this bridge. So it's going to be by the span by span method. We need to select the section template that we're going to use to define our superstructure and define the lengths of each segment and define the typical pier length, right? Because there are segments, of course, that are along the pier as well. So we need to specify all of that. And the bridge is going to be built. So it may take a little time to run it. We have our bridge. Right, so that's how we build it again, span by span. Then, as we have done before, we place the piers using a section template that we may have defined previously or use the one in the library. Select what supports are going to have it. Place the relationship against the ground. Again, we're going to cover all these prompts in great detail later. So we have our pier, and as well, we can place later our abutments. Change some properties. So that's how we define. Now, after building any type of bridge, as we can see before, concrete, steel, segmentals, one of the great values of having this 3D model is be able to generate reports. Remember, we have used the alignment, profile, super, uh, as the structure will be built, right? So there is no there is a graphical representation, but more than that, it's an engineering representation, meaning that we can extract quantities from it as we know what we place. Every element that we have placed has property regarding its material, and we can add more properties like pricing or any other physical property as well. But then we can extract quantities, concrete quantities. We can calculate the preliminary cost of the bridge. One more time, again, we use geometry. So then our deck elevations, right? Regardless if it is super elevated or not, we can extract deck elevations along the bridge. Well, actually, we can extract elevations anywhere on the bridge. Right? Following that geometry, so then we can get reports on beam seat elevations, pier elevation, any kind of supports. We can review what we have entered because all that graphical input is also translated into what we call an input report. If we design and bring that deflections into the model so we could generate camber reports And to generate that, for example, this is a deck elevation report in which we just get the bridge and select along what lines we want to generate these deck elevations. Usually, maybe you can set up 10 points along the bridge, along every line of the bridge, alignment, edges of the deck, along each beam line, and generate these reports fairly quick. Beam seat elevations too. We just read the model and extract the elevations corresponding to each one of the beams, the top, the bottom, the hunch, right? Or elevations on the pier as well. So all the geometry and its reporting capabilities are basically our prints, fingerprints, right? So now remember, we know where we place. So quantities and cost estimates are just a click away, right? All the elements have properties, so extracting the properties and knowing what they belong to, the deck, the pier, the column, the cap, we can extract these quantities. We just need to define the different materials we use and the cost of it in our materials library. So we can generate all that quantities as well.